Man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. You know, word on the curb is that Eddie Hearn is looking to now put on a fight between Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder. And truth be told, we should have expected this. I thought that maybe that, listening to the words of Dillian Whyte after his victory over Joseph Parker, he said, yo, man, he's looking to possibly take his touch, and he wasn't too impressed with what happened in the ring, and he feels as though before he even thinks about heading into the direction of Anthony Joshua, he needs to work on some things. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, an interim fight he's looking to take, and he preferably looking to get it this year. Well, we see Eddie Hearn giving an interview to The Independent, I believe, news organization in the UK. And he got a quote up there throughout his interview, and he says, and I quote, "I'd probably go up to 7 million or 8 million for Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian Whyte now. I'll be making Wilder an offer this week for Dillian Whyte again. We could do it in America. We could do it in Brooklyn. Wilder seems to be worried about coming to the UK, so we will do it in Brooklyn. It will make fortunes for the pair of them." Wow. End quote. Ladies and gentlemen, $8 million, and he's talking about doing it in Brooklyn? I'm going to be real. I think Wilder should take this fight. Given that the WBC is saying that, with the Dominique Brazil situation, Wilder has up some time to next year to make that fight. He doesn't have to make that fight right away. We know that Dillian Whyte, right after he beat Lucas Brown, the first thing he did was try to get the Deontay Wilder fight because he won the WBC silver title after that fight, which usually, when you hold that title, you get your shot. But however, the WBC said, no, we're going to give that shot to Dominique Brazil, a guy after his last victory sometime last year. They promised to be the mandatory, and that's what they did. It was shaky for a minute. It looked a little murky, because we thought Dominique Brazil was leaving the sanctioning body. We thought he was going to go somewhere else. We thought he was going to take another fight. And then poof, the WBC shuts down Dillian Whyte and says, no, Dominique Brazil's getting that shot. So Dillian Whyte was forced to shop around. And I'm just telling this part for those who don't know. So Dillian Whyte was forced to shop around. Eventually, he found Joseph Parker. And now here we are. They're talking about Deontay Wilder again. The difference was, in that first time around, Eddie Hearn was not talking about America. He was talking about Deontay Wilder coming over to the UK. He was also talking about a lower dollar figure. But now, since Dillian Whyte's last win, and also after Deontay Wilder with his biggest win to date with Luis Ortiz, well, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Hearn is ready to go into that DAZN money and give us some up to Wilder. Now, this is crazy because Eddie Hearn has been trying to get Wilder for, I'm sure that if he's going to offer this kind of money in Brooklyn, this fight going to have to go down on DAZN. That's where the deep pocket's at when it comes to America. He is going to have to take this to DAZN. How does Showtime, whom Steven Espinoza and Deontay Wilder, the main guy over at Showtime, they got a real tight relationship. Showtime and Wilder has been partners for a minute now. So is Showtime going to be down with letting Wilder go on over there to DAZN to take that type of money? I can assure you, Showtime ain't throwing them type of figures right now. At least not to our knowledge. $8 million, ladies and gentlemen, Deontay Wilder's biggest purse, at least purse-wise, is just $2.1 million. And that was since his last fight in Luis Ortiz. And you telling me Eddie Hearn is trying to throw $8 million? Because you can say 7 or 8 million. You toss me, of course, they're going to take that top number. 8 million and a fight in Brooklyn? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if anybody going to be able to be against this. This is a good deal. And hopefully we get this. I think this is a good setup. Now, let's not forget, and I always bring this up, when Eddie Hearn wanted Deontay Wilder to come over to the UK, the first thing that he was going to do was throw Dillian Whyte in Deontay Wilder's face. And people was like, oh, nah, man. We want to see the AJ fight. We want to see the AJ fight. So, no, Deontay Wilder, you should not go over to the UK. Now, for anybody who want to come out and say, well, he should have went, because I thought about that. And I was like, nah, because it's the actions of Deontay Wilder, stalling it out, allowing Dillian Whyte to go and take an interim fight. that now has officially raised the purse. So technically, it was a smart move by Deontay Wilder for making Dillian Whyte sweat a little bit. But now I think he should take it. Even if you don't feel like the Dillian Whyte is at the level of competition. Now the thing is, and this is how it always go when it comes to Deontay Wilder and Eddie Hearn. There can't be no devil in the details. There can't be no small print, man. Talking about some, we want to, if Deontay Wilder wins, then he has to be under contract. You know how that thing go. That's how he was trying to lock it in. See, Eddie Hearn is trying to lock in terms now for a fight sometime next year. So if he weighs Dillian Whyte with an $8 million price tag on it and then say, oh, well, you got to take these terms when it comes to Anthony Joshua, $15 million flat rate, this, that, and y'all know the setup. Not to mention he's adding more seats in the O2 on April 13th. That can't happen. So if you're going to, it would be a bad thing. It would really suck. And I could see Fast Car Eddie doing this, man. This is how he moves. It would really suck to offer him a blockbuster deal for Dillian Whyte and then turn around and still offer him the same paltry deal for Project AJ. You know what I mean? That'd be just mess the whole thing up. And then, of course, to the casuals, Deontay Wilder was offered all this money to fight Dillian Whyte, $8 million. Oh, my goodness, how does he not sign? His biggest payday is this. It would sound good. Y'all know how this thing been going. It would sound good. But then people would leave out the second part. Oh, yeah, well, Eddie still offered him a fuckboy deal for April 13th. And even if Deontay Wilder defeats Dillian Whyte, right? Would that not raise his stock a little bit? Shouldn't that $15 million number come up some? So how are we going to lock that in? And what's up with the rematch clause? This is why you can't. Honestly, I hope, and I'm hoping, I know this is a hope and a prayer, that Eddie offers this fight on its own merit. Like, it's a standalone fight. Like, it has nothing to do with the AJ situation. Like, I hope he offers this fight on its own legs. Because if he does that, it's an awesome deal. And I think we'll have a fight. Truth be told. And they say they're looking to do this sometime before Christmas. They're aiming for December. So, this has to be a stand on its own deal. Or if it comes accompanied with an Anthony Joshua thing, then let the details be a little better than what Eddie been offering. If not, we're going to be back to a clusterfuck. So let's see, man. I back this fight. I hope the devil is not in the details. If the fight stand on its own merit and what Eddie talking about, which is never usually straight up, I'm down. I think the American public would be down. Now, with the politics involved, I don't know. Eddie Hearn has some notion in his head that Deontay Wilder and Showtime's relationship, he's just willing to walk away from that and do a fight like that on DAZN. Bad enough, it's already out there that Eddie Hearn wants to put AJ and Wilder on DAZN. How you think Showtime, who's been working with Wilder, gonna feel about that? Now, that ain't my concern, but I'm just saying these are things that impede the fight. See, Anthony Joshua was able to walk away from Showtime. His deal is up with Showtime. We don't really know the details of Wilder's deal, but we just know he has a very good working relationship with Showtime. Maybe, who knows, maybe Showtime can get some side money and just get paid to stay out the way. I don't know how it works like that, but I'm going to tell you, man, like, them some big numbers, yo. $8 million, man, like for one fight for Deontay Wilder, that's 4 fights total to fight a Dillian Whyte. And according to Eddie Hearn, Dillian Whyte got hurt in the last round versus Joseph Parker. So he feels as though that Deontay Wilder probably would have seen that and seen several vulnerabilities in Dillian Whyte. I think he beats Dillian Whyte anyway, with or without your final round or your vulnerabilities or whatever. I think he beats him anyway. But he thinks that's one of the things that will lure Deontay Wilder to the table, that final round. It could be. If an $8 million bag don't lure Deontay Wilder to the table, damn the 12th round. You dig? Damn that round. It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be that bag. And Dillian Whyte just looks like he is just too game for a big right hand. I'm just sorry, man. If we get that fight, I'm gonna break that down. So we'll see how this shit go. The American public will see how they move on this. Of course, let's keep our third eye open. We know who we dealing with here. We're dealing with Matchroom Boxing and Mr. Eddie Hearn. Now, unlike a lot of other people, though, I don't totally, like, I call Eddie's bullshit, but I like when Eddie does do good things. When he, I'm looking at what he's doing with DAZN. I'm looking at the fights that are being announced. And though I'm not all the way on board yet, Eddie is definitely... He's definitely if he keeps going the route he's going, he'll have me as a DAZN custom. I'm gonna be real. Billy Joe Saunders versus Demetrius Andrade right now. We got Anthony Joshua versus Povetkin. Those things don't do it quite yet. Daniel Jacobs, well, no, that's going to go down on HBO. Him and Daryevchenko will be going down. But however, if Andrade defeats Billy Joe Saunders, takes the title, and Daniel Jacobs defeats Daryevchenko for the IBF title, then they're doing a unification. Daniel Jacobs' deal with HBO will be up. They're doing that unification on DAZN. Y'all see what I'm saying? Fights like Kell Brook and Amir Khan. These are things, man, like, yo, give me good fights, Eddie. That's all I can ask. I don't have allegiances to networks. It's just that I already got networks. So you got to outdo them for me to move a slide of one of them out my phone and put you in my phone or in my subscription list, if you will. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like, we'll see, man. But this is a good deal if it's on its own merit. But let's look for the devil in the details, man. Real talk. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. Sorry, y'all. I just happened a comment just happened to come across my screen about a video that I did, and I'm shocked this person took that position, man. But yo, we'll get more into it soon, man. But yeah, man, this is a good thing, man. This is a good thing, and I gotta admit, man, let's just hope, because I take the Dillian Whyte fight over the Dominique Brazil fight. It's just any day. I mean, no one's thinking that. No one's checking for Dominique Brazil. We seen him at the top level, and we see how he performs, and it's just like, we'll rather see Dillian Whyte. Not to mention, Dillian Whyte is riding with momentum right now. And if they can do this maybe in December-ish, November-ish, yo, that's a good look. But we'll see. So to the next video. Peace out.